Oh. Wait, what? Oh. What? Oh. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. Genuine ostrich. 3 payments. Oh. Oh. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. Genuine ostrich. 3 payments. Oh. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. Genuine ostrich. 3 payments. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. Genuine ostrich. 3 payments. Oh. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. I'm just goofing. New boot, goofing. Genuine ostrich. 3 payments. Oh.
Have you ever had a dream that you could don't do skid you don't do skid you want don't do skid you could you could don't do skid you don't do skid you want don't do skid you could you could don't do skid you don't do skid you want don't do skid you could you could don't do skid you don't do skid you want don't. Have you ever had a dream?
Today, Junior?
You want him to do you so much you could do anything?
It's a drawing of a dick and it tells me to fuck off.
Millhip is something new for the internet with Harry Powers Live and the Ultimate Tournament every Sunday night at 8 p.m.
I'll use the man bulge.
You take the toe and it's over.
The half Nelson was encoded in the first version of the Bible.
And a mystery live show any given day of the week featuring interactive RPG game shows and nonsensical comedy with new uploaded content nearly every day. Join Millhip today. Visit millhip.rocks or youtube.com/millhip.
Do you like your novelty comedy songs organic? Handmade with painstaking care, put into every note? Well, look no further than Irrational Times. Using only the finest instruments to create an experience that your ears will thank you for later, Irrational Times attempts to elevate the whimsy to a desirable level. New songs and sketches every week, so check it out.
Hello, my name is Frozen Asian, and I'd like to tell you about my show, the Sunday Night Shit Show, every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Along with good conversations and laughing at funny and weird shit we find on the internet, we also have the Hat Cam, where I showcase my myriad of great-looking hats. Here is a testimonial from a great friend of mine who has enjoyed my hats lately.
I hope your next hat is a bullet. Jesus Christ, what are you, fucking Asian Dick Tracy? What's wrong with you? Why do you have to ruin my evening? Like, I was just gonna just listen to my buds do their show, and you just gotta do that. You do the show without the hat.
So you're not enjoying it?
No!
Dude, Asian
come
Dick
on,
Tracy.
secretly you enjoy it.
You look like you're going undercover in Argentina, but it's not working.
I hate you. I hate you.
Oh, come on, you secretly love it.
No, I openly hate it.
I just turned the damn camera on, I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on, I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on, I don't have a plan.
It's a theme.
I turned the
Actually,
damn
we do have a
camera
plan if
on,
you check
I
out the
don't have a
title.
plan.
Holy
I
shit.
turned the damn camera on, I
plan.
don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on, I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on, I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on,
I
I
didn't turn
don't
the
have a
camera
plan.
on
I
'cause
turned
my,
the damn camera
feeling
on, I
old.
don't have a plan.
Feeling old, my
I
hair's
turned the
getting
damn
long.
camera on, I don't have a
I
plan.
don't feel like setting up my
turned
green
the damn
screen.
Camera on, I don't have a plan.
Even though it's
I
like
turned the damn
one
camera
thing.
on, I don't have a plan. I turned the
What's
damn
good,
camera
Daryl?
on, I
Marine,
don't have a
JC,
plan. I
Wyatt,
turned the damn camera
C
on, I
down.
don't
What's
have
good,
a plan.
guys? Thanks
I
for
turned the damn
joining.
Camera on, I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on, I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on, I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on, I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on, I don't have a plan.
Can we get some likes on the stream? There's 6 of you in here. Like it up.
I turned the damn camera on, I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on, I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on, I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on, I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on, I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on, I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on, I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on, I don't have a plan. I turned the damn camera on, I don't have a plan. I think I got a plan, I don't have a damn plan. You think I got a plan? Yo, there's no damn plan. We're all walking around without a damn plan. You can't have a plan if you wanna fuck some shit up, yeah. Get the fuck out, baby, no plan on it. I'm doing shit, baby, cooking in the oven, got it. Baby, get the bake on, get the temperature higher and higher until you're burning inside. I said it's skillet on the damn grill and I'm cooking, bitch. Put the skillet on the grill, then you're cooking, bitch. I get ingredients, I line them up, I see what I can do with the damn ingredients. There's no plan. I said no damn plan. I said there's no damn plan.
You got a plan? You got a little plan? Oh, you're gonna do it just like this? Step one, little note here, a thing there, then you're gonna put them all together, then you're making music.
Fuck your motherfucking plan, I don't need a plan. I don't need a damn plan. I don't need a plan, bitch. I don't need a damn plan. You got a plan? Well, I don't got a plan. So let's run away together, baby, the unknown. I said,
The theme of this channel, JC, no plan.
Chaka chaka cha, yaka chaka cha. No plan, bitch. Woo!
I don't have a plan. I turn the damn camera on. I don't have a plan.
Yeah.
Damn camera on. I don't have a plan.
No.
I turn the damn camera on. I don't have a plan.
All right. So for those of you who don't know, Mark Billet is a talented motherfucker who can do all this shit on the fly, and I dropped his link. He does not need my help. He is hundreds of times bigger than me, but he is a very talented guy, and I really appreciate the shit he does. So I like using that song because it really puts together what this channel has become. There's no consistency. There's no organized time. I mean, I'm kind of 2 days in a row at 4, I guess that's consistent. I guess that's a little bit of a plan. No, we do have a little bit of a plan for today's show. We have some interesting going-ons. We have some, goddamn, dude, I need to get ad blocker. Fuck this shit. I don't want to see your ads, all right? Daily Mail. So we got some things to cover. We have H3H3. Why I just clicked X. Sad. We have H3H3 versus KEEMSTAR and the shit show that's devolved into. We have, yes, I really need a mask. Consistently inconsistent. Thank you, JC. Yes, that's probably the most accurate description. AGluck. Afternoon wave late. Evening wave early. Consistently inconsistent. That's gonna be the motto of this channel. YouTube took a shit. No. I'm looking like YouTube's still good to go. We still good to go, boys? Boys? No, YouTube's still good to go. You might your internet might be freaking out over there, Maureen. But yeah, we do have the backup, which is dlive.tv /AGluck. So if you're not over there, I'm going to be activating the whole having subs and shit over there. Yeah, so that's done. I got affiliated over there, which is nice. So I can set up cool things. We could, Jimmy Neutron the fuck out of that place. Because that is our spirit animal. My spirit animal is Jimmy Neutron. Because I have a massive forehead and the faux hawk. It just happens. My hair just does whatever the fuck it wants. If you saw it right now, you guys would fucking be laughing because it's all over the fucking place. But yeah, so we're covering the KEEMSTAR Ethan Klein shit. We're covering AugieRFC, who is, and I hope he still is, down to come on and have a conversation. Now we have something else to talk about tomorrow night. This one will be a late one, unless I can get him in early. I got to see. Time might be, the schedule might be for 4 tomorrow, but he does his show usually in the evenings, and so we might still have to go after Nightwave for that interview. So we now have the fact that he has joined Revenge of the Sis and Mersh, and Sinatra Says he was live on Twitch. He was live on Twitch. So if you want to check out his shit, he covers, all he is a YouTube commentary channel. He does live shows. He's grown pretty fucking big over the last, about a year and a half. And it was his backup, I think. He's trying to avoid it because of all the shit. Oh, well, yeah, he's still able to stream. He's just demonetized. They pulled his monetization on the day that YouTube sends out the money. So YouTube sends their money out on the 20th. I was going to cover this article first. Let's cover Augie. He was demonetized. Now, for those of you who don't know what that means, Basically, they pull your ability to get super chats. They pull your ability to get ad revenue, anything like that. ROTC and Mersh and Sinatra Says and several others are in the same boat. Now, as you can see, Mersh and ROTC and Sinatra can still post, be live, do all that shit, but they cannot gain any revenue from YouTube for their work. So their AdSense account basically gets nothing from monetization, including YouTube Red, which used to be YouTube Premium, or no, inverse. YouTube Premium, which used to be YouTube Red, which was you would get a little chunk of your viewers based on the percentage of time they watched your channel, because they pay $10 a month to not have ads or anything. I like his show. He puts out a good show. It's just general content about going ons on the internet, drama, shit like that. You know, it's different than it's a mix of what I do minus out the political side of things, because he doesn't cover the politics side of things. Now, what he believes got him popped, we'll dive into that shortly, but there's one thing that he's been covering that he believes got him popped. There we go, that's better. Your channel is no longer eligible to monetize. Upon a recent review, we found that a significant portion of your channel is not in line with YouTube's monetization policies. Please review our feedback below and make changes. What you should do next: review your content. I don't know. I'm still getting chats over here. I'm good to go over here, Maureen. Maybe it's just I looked at my fucking back end. Everything's rolling into YouTube. We're golden. I fixed my mic. We are sound like a professional for once in our fucking career until I get that new soundboard. Me and I've been talking to Royce about. So I'm gonna be sounding even better when I get that new soundboard and mic, which is where all the donations and savings on Streamlabs are going to. In our review, we found content on your channel that is not in line with the following guidelines. To monetize your channel, you must comply with all YouTube monetization policies. Please review your channel and make changes.
Yo, I go to 7.
Oh, what's good? Wyatt, thank you for the donation. Changes can include editing or deleting videos and updating video metadata. What was he blocked for? You can see it big with the exclamation point, harassment. Content that threatens individuals or insults them based on intrinsic attributes such as their protected group status or physical traits is not allowed on YouTube. Now, those of you who watch YouTube and have seen, there's been this big copyright situation going on with an anime reaction channel. Now, I've covered this person, and this person, like me, has a little Jimmy, that works, a little Jimmy Neutron going on. This person has some Jimmy Neutron-esque features. For those of you who don't know what that is, someone in the chat could tell you what I mean by Jimmy Neutron style features. That person who reacts, if you want to call them reaction videos, to anime is Susie Lou. Susie Lou. Augie's pretty sure that Susie Lou had some intrinsic attributes, not that one, but intrinsic attributes as in physical situations, things you can't control. Like, if I was a whiner baby back bitch, I'd be like, oh, they're making fun of them. Jimmy has a small penis. Why? I don't have a small. Why? What? What is a woman, an actual girl, she is a real girl, and me have in common? It ain't the penis, bro. Even if mine is micro-sized. Micro-dong. That's right, guys. You heard it here first. Micro-dong. AGluck. Clip that. Fuck. No. We have similarities in the Jimmy Neutron situation. And that situation would be not the hair, not the eyes, but what sits in between the hair and the eyes. Oh, right, boobs. Yes, boobs. You're correct. It's the boobs. I mean, if I was a really, really fat ass, I mean, yeah, I could lose some weight still. This goddamn lockdown's fucked me up, and I've put on like 10 pounds when I was down to almost sub 200. God, fuck the government. Fuck the lockdown. I can't. I mean, I can. I'm just being lazy. And, the whole dieting thing when you're fucking stuck at home, bored out of your mind, maybe got a little bit of that depression going on because, hey, you're a laid off employee. You'll probably start eating like shit, like I did. It's Spamhead. I got it. Yeah. But yeah, so, he covered some of her shit. He covered what was going on, and she's been known to be a flaggot, a flag person who goes after channels who criticize her. She's done it to multiple channels, but this is the first time that I've seen a channel associated with anything covering this has been demonetized fully. What's interesting about this situation is that it's the 20th. 20th is when YouTube generally sends out their money. Just get an anxiety disorder, AG. You get so upset you can't keep food down. The pounds melt away. I don't know if she's actually a trusted flagger. She's made those claims, but then there's been counterclaims by actual YouTube people who have, pointed out that she isn't any of the things she claims to be, that she's lied about a lot of things. But, so Augie's covered her. The one thing is, Augie's young. Augie's a young guy. The one thing I will say is, hey, if you're just doing this for the money, it's not a good thing, and it's going to end up with a negative situation going on. You're not going to enjoy it, but I could see where $2,000 of your fans' money of ad revenue and super chats not being given to you the day it's supposed to, and you get monetized the day it's supposed to go out, you might be a little frustrated. It might demotivate you. Now, your YouTube run is not over. I'm going to give him advice tomorrow because we've seen what happens if you build an audience that enjoys and shares your content. You can still grow, even without any of these situations he's going to mention. You can still grow your channel. Look at ROTC. They got demonetized almost 2 years ago now. It's almost been 2 years ago now. Maybe not. Maybe it was June of 2019. So I don't fucking know. Whatever. It might have been June of 2018. I don't fucking know. Either way, they got demonetized, and their show has grown massively. Mersh's show has grown massively, even with demonetization. You have to just use the outside sources to grow said channel. Don't let that limit you. Don't let the fact that you won't be in recommended anymore limit you.
Listen, I don't mean to get all doomsday over here, but my YouTube career is effectively over.
Yes, JC, they can. YouTube actually, for those of you who don't know, and why I recommend not using super chats and why I recommend using, the Streamlabs, is they take 30% of your super chats. So if you send someone $3, they're going to take about $1. They're going to take almost $1 worth of that $3 super chat. What's good, Frozen? Welcome. It's one of those things where YouTube already takes 30%. So if he had $2,000 in revenue and they took 30% of that, that means that he really had almost $3,000 in actual revenue for the company, and they take 30%, including 30% of super chats. So if you want to get around that, if you want to be smart about that, I highly recommend using Streamlabs instead. And that's what I told him too, is use Streamlabs. They do owe him $2,000. They owe Mersh $2,000. They owe ROTC almost $4,000. They owe Sinatra, God only knows. I don't know Sinatra's number, but pardon me. You have all these creators who YouTube demonetizes, and then they say, okay, reapply in 30 days. And then like Sinatra, like ROTC, like Mersh, they do not actually monetize you and are still holding their money. after they do not monetize you, they should pay you out as long as you've broken the threshold, which is $100. Jim, Mr. Medicare, got enough. I don't know if it's enough audience support, enough views, enough focus on YouTube to get his monetization back, to get them to pay him out. So why has it taken this long to pay out guys like Sinatra and ROTC and stuff? What's interesting is that their money is sitting in an escrow account or in an account gaining interest. YouTube does not pay on that interest. YouTube still takes their 30% of the original amount and is making money off of this currently. So year 2000, Augie, will be sitting in an account waiting for that 30-day mark to reapply. Then if you get denied again, if you don't get remonetized, you will be giving and having interest gained on your money and YouTube taking it.
My channel's demonetized, so that means I'm not getting paid the $2,000 I have sitting in my payout. None of my videos are ever getting recommended again. Streaming is effectively useless. No super chat.
Not effectively useless. He might have threatened legal action, and that's what this group of people who were also demonetized, ROTC, Mersh, Sinatra, Augie, anyone else, like, they should all come together and send a class action based letter that, hey, we're all creators that you owe money to. We're all people that you have not paid. We expect you to pay us. If you do not pay us, we will bring a class action lawsuit against you, because it doesn't matter if you're a 1099 employee, which you would be, and I am. I'm a 1099 receiving employee of Google. I'm a contractor. They need to pay out the money owed in a timely manner. If your standard is 30 days and then you don't remonetize them, right then, period, they should have their money. Rico should Rico their asses. Yeah, no shit.
I am basically, I might as well be terminated. There's no point to upload to my channel anymore because they're not going to push anything. They have effectively killed the dream. And look, I always said on my show, you've heard me say it 1,000 times, one day we're all getting demonetized. I knew it would come. I knew it would come. Like 2 years, maybe 3 years from now. Today, this is the beginning of the end, guys. Comedy is dead. Criticism is dead. Satire is dead. It's all gone. Commentary itself might as well be dead. This is it. I don't know what I'm going to do. Thank God I'm going to school. That's what I'm saying. You know, imagine if I was one of these guys who was just running out chasing the dream. Luckily, I had enough foresight to know that YouTube is not stable as a career, and this proves it. I'm effectively done, guys. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Obviously, this was pre his stream today, which I watched some of. This is before he basically got advice from other people who've been in this situation, or those who've actually been removed from said platform, telling him, you know what, man, there's ways around this. I think being demonetized takes away some of the stress, because then you could focus in, honestly, why, as a supporter of any channel, would you want to give Google 30% of your money? Now, the way around that would be Streamlabs or any of those other alternatives where you are giving them money based on the support you want to show, and they are not taking a chunk. Streamlabs does not take a chunk. That's one thing I really respect about Streamlabs, is that they're not jumping in and pulling a chunk of the money out of the creator's pocket. Oh, their processing fees? Yeah, with PayPal, there's a processing fee. With credit card processing into PayPal, there is a processing fee, but it's not like the site itself is taking it. YouTube, on the other hand, there is no processing fee. They basically direct deposit the money into your bank account, whether it be a business account or personal account. They direct deposit it into it. Their processing fee for doing that apparently is 30% of your income. Now that's pretty fucked. That's a lot of money. They wouldn't have the ad revenue or the ad foresight that they would have if they didn't have the creators on the platform. Now, straight ads ran on the channel. Yeah, I could see taking 30%, but super chats, that's where I have an issue. You're taking 30% of money that is directly given to said creator, to support said creator. That has nothing to do with an ad sell. That program that you have running in there, the super chat feature, maybe it costs you something up in the beginning, but it doesn't now. It's paid for itself. That feature has paid for itself. The build costs, all that shit. 100% guarantee it. Just think of people who make, I don't know, let's use Joe Rogan if he was doing live anymore or whatever. The amount of super chats that motherfucker would get. Wouldn't read them, wouldn't cover them, wouldn't do any of that shit. But people who wanted to be seen, people who wanted to be heard, and opinions they wanted to actually hear are paying a lot of money to people like that. Medicare, who I give him massive amounts of credit, reads all of his super chats. I respect that. But let's say he's doing 1,000. YouTube, every video is making about $300 every stream he did. So I don't know, man. The math's just not there. And the fact that they're willing to basically take that chunk for no reason. Then you take into consideration, it's pure profit now, 100% JC. You take into consideration the fact that they are holding on to people's money and making interest off that. You take into consideration that there's alternatives out there that don't take the money, but people like easy. People will stick to their guns and send super chats instead of sending, I don't know, Streamlabs or, alternatives. Even fucking DLive is 10 times better. They take a small percentage of the Lino you get donated, or Tron now, I think it is, whatever it is now. They take a small percentage of it, but they make it super easy. You earn it for free. Like, I don't see a problem with that. Everyone has the opportunity to get it for free. Watching a stream and being interactive in the chat. They're giving it away. Whereas, what's YouTube giving away? Nothing. You have people paying $10 a month for their service so they don't have ads and can background play. If you're on an iPhone or a device that doesn't allow dual play, they're literally making money hand over fist off of something that costs them nothing to have on their system now. It has paid itself. Maybe they could do, early percentages, like, first runs will be, X amount of percentages. And then once we stabilize and once this pays itself off, let's say it was 100,000 to implement because of, coding and person's labor and everything to get this feature on the board, then you bring it down to, I don't know, 5%. Think about the guys who have what's that thing where they basically have they have not a sponsorship, but a brand deal with like Full Send or any of those. Like Worski had one. Worski had a company that someone fucking tell me. I lost my train of thought. It's like MS like fucking MSN. I think that's what it's called. I'm fucking blanking. But basically, if you have a company that handles all your shit and gets you like specialty ads, and you're part of a team like fucking Philip DeFranco's website and Full Send, all those, you have them taking a percentage too. You have them taking anywhere from 10 to 15%, sometimes higher, depending on the agreement you have with them. Like Memology 101 has his percentage is like, I think they take 20 to 30% of his after 20 to 30%. Yeah, it's an advertising company, but there's a name for it, an MSN, I think, whatever it's fucking called. But they take a percentage after YouTube's taken their 30%. So then you have your 70%, and let's say they take 5% of that 70% remaining. Fucking insane. I believe because Memology is like Guatemala or out of the country somewhere, he can't monetize his channel the same way that others would because Google doesn't allow it, and they would take a huge chunk. I think they take like 20% on top of it, so he's barely making half the money he would make. So let's finish this up.
I might do a stream soon. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I'm heartbroken by this. My channel was doing so well. I was making a lot of money, and now that's all gone. I'm not even gonna get paid. This is a disaster.
And rightfully, it's his money, and he does have the mindset of, you know, he's young. He's maybe frustrated, and there is no thought process to alternatives right now because he was frustrated and everything. Again, we're having him on tomorrow night, hopefully still. But here's who he believes and why he believes it was tied into the Suzy Lou situation. Suzy Lou's boyfriend, Stejo, right when Augie posted about his takedown, he was out here saying, I'm getting good news after good news. It's a good day. I may be demonetized, but a lawsuit is a mile from me, sir. You, on the other hand, are going to have to clean up a much different mess than you're used to. By the way, it should go without saying, but Stejo and Suzy Lou are 100% responsible for my takedown. Once a flagger, always a flagger. I can assure you, both of them, that I will never stop saying whatever I want. You can't stop me. Obviously, there's not 100% proof, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were involved for the simple fact. You have Stejo over here retweeting in relation to the Ethan Klein shit, which we're going to cover too. He's fucking idiot. They're both stealing content from anime companies, and I know they're massive companies, but still, the content, they don't understand fair use. He's made the extreme claims that he has a law degree, which you can look it up. He doesn't. He may have taken some law classes during getting his business degree at university in the UK, but he is by far not associated with any kind of legal work. He's full of shit and just keeps making up stuff. The timing of it was exactly when Augie's channel was announced that he was down. A goofy, retarded idiot is mad because his girlfriend got caught stealing shit. So yeah, Augie is now joining the crew of demonetized people. If you want to show him some support, I believe it is. Let's get his Twitch line. Yes, he is still monetized and he is live. Let's drop this in for you guys. Yeah, he doesn't have the any kind of mind of what it is to be understand law, understand fair use, understand Google's definition of fair use, and Stejo and his girlfriend are a bunch of fucking idiots. Now, his channel over here is still monetized. So, if you want to, support, watch his channel over here. Yeah, they must be fucking break. But yeah, so definitely a good place to keep an eye on. We will be having him on. Let's go back to the article I wanted to cover first. because I got distracted and started talking about things way out of line. Mother blasts school for asking her 11-year-old daughter to define hardcore pornography as homework. Preteen students at Hull School, Hull, were asked to define different pornography. A mom, so this was obviously in the UK. I'm going to read it as if I were speaking real English and not English. A mom was livid after her child's homework read, "Define hardcore pornography." A 25-year-old also saw the homework given to his sister and warned others. Academy principal Che Bell has since apologized for any upset this has caused. A mom is fuming over her 11-year-old daughter's schoolwork, which asked children to define hardcore pornography. What the fuck is showing on that? That is disgusting. Among other inappropriate topics, children's in 7 and 8 and 9th grade at Archbishop Sentamu Academy in Hull were set the work in their personal, social, and health education, so PE class as part of their home learning. Teachers have asked the 11 to 14-year-olds to define pornography, softcore pornography, hardcore pornography, transsexual pornography, as well as female genital mutilation, wet dreams, trafficking, male circumcision, breast ironing, and more. They were also asked questions about alcohol, drugs, and smoking. Following the complaints from parents, the Academy has now apologized for any offense caused. The mother, who wished only to be referred to her surname, Mrs. Taylor, from East Hull, said if her daughter had searched these phrases online in order to find them, the results would have destroyed her mind and scarred her for life. Well, I don't think that would be the case. That's a little dramatic, but yes. Also, I have advice. When you take a picture, stupid, I know this is news to you. Don't take it backwards. See how you're holding the book? It's backwards. Define LGBTQ+, define sexuality, defined drag? I can't read that word. Drag queen. Oh, brag. Fucking trying to read it backwards. Define heterosexual, define homosexual, define transvestite. That's out of date. You do not call them transvestites anymore. Define transgender pornography. Luckily, oh look, you actually learned how to take a picture. Luckily, the mom of children aged 7, 11, and 16 was warned about the work in a Facebook post by another parent before her daughter began working on it. For the 34-year-old said, "My daughter is still very much a child. Still got magic elves. Her bedroom is done up in My Little Pony." My Little Pony in this day and age? What the... Nigga, stop trying to put shit you like on your daughter. She only likes My Little Pony because you showed it to her. There's no relevance in My Little Pony. Why isn't it done up in like fucking something relevant in this day and age? But anyways, she was also only in primary school last year living her best life. Stop saying best life. God, white. Now she's being asked to search for hardcore. She wasn't asked to search. She was asked for the definition. But search for hardcore pornography. She's 11. She should be doing stranger danger and don't share your info online. But genital mutilation is another thing. It was asked about male circumcision, breast ironing. I don't even know what that is myself. I would assume it's something trans people do to make themselves flatter chested. No, it's not. You're not being prudish by saying this is inappropriate in this age group. Now, sex ed. Did I do sex ed in 6th grade? No, we didn't do sex ed until 7th or 8th grade, right? 7th or 8th grade, I would have been 13. Yeah, I'd be 13 in 8th grade. No. Fuck. Okay, hold on. Let me do the math here. Yeah, I would have been 14 in 8th grade because I was a September kid, so I was behind. We started 8th grade is when we started sex ed and talking about, sexually transmitted diseases, puberty, stuff like that. But we were never asked to define pornography. Revenge porn, sexting, transvestite, gender, homosexuality. Any of this shit is not viable for an 11-year-old. I'm just thinking, is there kids out there who have done this work? You'd be scared at what you saw. At 11, I was playing with Barbies. They've seen it. They can't unsee it. I mean, in this day and age, most kids have seen boobs by fucking 11. But they haven't seen fucking sexualized penetration as 11-year-old. Now, it's making me think what they're learning about at school that we don't know about. We only know about this because they're home learning. Miss Taylor said she dreads to think what would have happened if her daughter had searched the terms online and seen the results. They have been told to use Google, and she would have searched it. I did Google hardcore porn, and some of the images that came up were quite disturbing. No, you're 34 years old. Stop saying they're disturbing to you. They're disturbing for a child. Man, you had sex. You had sex in order to have a child. You know what hardcore porn is. Come on, let's be real. I don't think she would have coped well with that. Of course, your daughter would not have coped well with that. And any kid would not cope well with that if they're young. If they are not overtly sexualized as children and taken advantage of. Oh, you're fucking, I know what that's feels good. Be Yourself Identity. Yeah, I'm sure that's a fucking great book. If that was me as a kid and I did that, I'd do it. And I think I'd done something wrong and wouldn't know how to tell my mom what I'd seen. Stop saying mom and ma'am. Pick a word. Ms. Taylor said some of the work was acceptable and encouraged learning about sexuality. Said a lot of the work was completely inappropriate. She said, I'm not one of these parents who will say, I don't want you to do sex education, as some is good for kids. Who will say, I don't, sorry. There are some things that they don't need to know, but not, there are some things that they need to know, but not things that would destroy her mind. No, either, here's where you're going to run into the problem. At that age, they don't need to be knowing about sex shit. Maybe 12, 13, puberty, when most people hit it. Yeah, some people hit it younger. And it's not on the schools to teach them these things. It's you as a parent. I got in touch with the school. I had a few choice words. I was fuming and I said point blank, she's not doing it. She wants to be out the lesson. I'm disgusted with it. How would they define that in school if they were not off? How would they have done that lesson when it's against the law? They're a very religious school as well. Oh, that's interesting. So how can they say they are a religious school but condone writing something like this in the book? I can't get my head around it. Oh shit, I didn't even realize it was like a private religious school. I thought it was like leaning towards the public side, but I guess I overread something. This is a private school. People send their kids there and it costs them money. Wrap your heads around that. It costs them money and they're based in religion. Did they say, oh god damn it. I don't want to scroll past fucking never mind, whatever. We'll look back in a little bit. I don't want to scroll past that fucking weird fucking image at the top of a fat lady. Where was I? I know there will be some other parents out there saying they need awareness, but an 11-year-old should not know about it. They do not need to know about it. They also don't need to be using Google to search shit like that. I think it's disgusting. Some parents have said it's good learning about it because it's readily available, but it's only readily available if you're not watching what they're doing. That's 100% right. Other parents and carriers said they felt the same way and were equally disgusted. Leon Dagan, 75, saw the work when he was sorting out his 13-year-old sister's work for her. He took to Facebook to warn other parents. When I first opened it, I thought, wow, this can't be a 13-year-old's homework. What kind of teacher would set that? Luckily, I found the work. Otherwise, she would have typed this shit into Google, and you know what would have come up? And that makes me feel sick. I felt sick thinking she's going to go on to the computer and search it. I've taken the words out. This will not happen on my watch. I'm appalled. I get sex education is vital in anyone's life. There are raw topics like this is something else. The Academy has apologized to parents and said students were not expected to search those terms online. It literally said that they should use Google. They should use Google. I've asked that any future materials of this nature have a clear statement ensuring students and their parents are aware of any potentially sensitive content and will ensure all materials are fully age appropriate. The PSHE materials that we share with students are produced in line with government guidance. That's right, government guidance. Hey guys, let's talk about transsexual people. Let's talk about transgender people. Let's talk about hardcore, softcore, anal, revenge, all these kind of porns, because the government tells us to. They also covered the Equality Act of 2010. Students were not directed to research these topics themselves online, because all answers to the questions students posed were contained in the teacher-produced material we shared. Then why were they advised to use Google? Why would they be advised to use Google? Yep. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on this, but I think the plain and simple fact is you can't expect kids to just, I don't know, not search it. You're putting these things that they may not know in their head, right? And making them aware of it, right? If you make them aware of it and they're in their pure and innocent state still, then what's the likelihood that they don't search it on their phone? What's the likelihood they don't, I don't know, start actually looking at that shit online? Yep, boys. I've been wanting to play this one for a while. Pretty fucking good. It's one of those things where we should allow children to remain innocent for as long as possible. Now, does that mean you have to lie to them about, I don't know, Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and all that shit? And any of you adults in here who still believe in the Easter Bunny, I'm sorry, I just broke it to you. Santa's not real. He's just Jesus with a beard and a sack. And he brings boys. 100% truthful. That is who Santa is. He's just Jesus. But if you're a crazy person, he's Satan. Santa is Satan taking away a massively religious day, which there's some debate up to whether or not Jesus was actually born on that day, but we're not going to get into that here. This is not a channel for that. But anyways, the point being is, if you're innocent, let the children remain innocent. I don't fucking know why that's so hard for these people. Oh, the government getting involved in shit like this? I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Foreskin, genital mutilation, breast ironing. Yes, because you might have a girl who thinks she's a tomboy and then hits puberty and is like, hey, Mom, I read about this thing called breast ironing. I really want one because I don't like having boobs. No, that's not going to make weird situations or anything like that. No. Let's take a look. This is a straight white male in quarantine. I want you guys to take this seriously, okay? I want you to take this.
Being a straight white male in quarantine has actually been amazing, but that's what you would expect from a straight white male.
Yes, because they're privileged, and he's focused in on his identity. So he's being very aware that he is a privileged straight white male. Again, Ryan Long, straight white male.
From a straight white male. I actually received 2 job offers this week, so that's something that I'm dealing with. What are you panning for? Stop! That's not my computer. I'm doing research. I'm straight. Yeah, as I was.
Isn't that just spot on to the kind of people who focus in on these things? Yeah, I'm a cis straight white male. Oh, okay, hold on. What do we have going on in D-Live? Queer San Franciscan Tolerance of all lives should be valued and encouraged by all people. Some of these kids have same-sex parents or trans parents. Some of these kids are LGBTQ themselves. Some of these kids are 11 years old and don't know what their sexuality is because they have not hit puberty. I'm sorry to tell you, I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're queer. You can be that way. But these kids do not need to have this shit forced down their throat when they're innocent. If they have those kind of questions, it's not the school's responsibility to do this shit for them. It's the responsibility of their parents. It's the responsibility of the parents to teach children. It's okay to be whatever you want to be, but don't fucking expect someone else to do your job as a parent. Do not expect that. If you have a problem with not being able to talk to your children about this situation, that doesn't mean you should be teaching everyone's child about fucking, I don't know, porn. I don't know, fucking breast flattening. I don't know, transgender shit. You know why a lot of kids are dealing with these fucking weird situations? It's because of the simple fact that they don't understand it. They get it shoved down their throat. And then what? Then what? What do you do as the parent when the school's shoving this down your children's throat? This is also a school that is a private religious school. You can do all your shit in a public school and let the government force its ideology down your throat, but you can't do the same at a private school. You do not have that right. And if you're one of those teachers who thinks you can, who thinks you shouldn't be working at a private religious school. Doesn't matter what fucking religion it is, you don't have that right. So what if some of these kids have parents that are that? Who gives a fuck? They probably have had a conversation about that with their parents. Mommy, why do I have two mommies? Mommy, why does daddy have boobs? That's their responsibility. It's not the schools. It's not the government's. You have the right to do it. You have the right to be it. But it's not your right to have someone else babysit your children because you're too big of a pussy to talk to your children. That is the problem. That is why society is falling apart, and that's why parents in this day and age fucking suck. Because they expect someone else to be the parent. The daycare worker, the fucking school, the family friend. They're not the fucking parents. You do the work. Now I can understand if, I don't know, kid only has one parent, he only gets one side of it, maybe he has a strong female role model he or she has a strong female role model at school, and only the male on one side, which is kind of not really the thing, only has a strong female presence at home, then yes, maybe there should be a strong male presence also. What do you do with the questions that you don't have the answers to? What should you do? Should you just let your child fucking believe that, hey, we have to believe and do all of these things because of the fact that the government tells us? Because of the fact that I'm too big of a sissy to not babysit and manage my own child? How about you focus so fucking simply on raising your own child? If you have these situations at home, why is it the school's responsibility to teach it? Why do they need to be the ones to teach tolerance? How about the people who expect tolerance, expect equality, do it? You expect your kids to understand these things? Then you teach them it. It's not fucking rocket science. It's not science at all. It's pretty clear, cut and dry. It's actually quite honestly is science. You gave birth to them. Teach your fucking child. Period. Focus on your children. You're a gay couple. You're a trans couple. Teach your child why. What. Don't expect anyone else to fucking do it. Period. come to the wrong channel if you expect me to pander to your fucking stupidity and pander to your belief that I or someone else should worry about teaching your child or anyone's child. No. My child. I don't have children, but it's my responsibility when I do have children to teach them myself. Okay? So shut the fuck up. You teach the children, not the schools. Let's go back to the funny before I let fucking some jackass ruin the funny again. Now, go think about how stupid you've been and take responsibility for your own kids and don't expect someone else to. Moron.
That's what you would expect from a straight white male. I actually received 2 job offers this week, so that's something that I'm dealing with. What are you panning for? Stop! That's not my computer. I'm doing research. I'm straight. See, as I was saying, as a straight white male, I do have to accept that I'm in a position of priv. Okay, 1 second. Hey, babe, I'm filming. Oh my God, we're frigging hazing them. They're pledging for the frat. It's not gay if we're showering together and they're frigging pledging. Have you ever heard? Stop it! I gotta go, babe. Okay, so anyways, as a white male who's also straight. Jesus Christ, 1 second.
Jesus. This straight white male is very privileged and has nothing he should focus on going on in his closet.
Hey, can you come back? Jake? What are you doing here? I have a freaking girlfriend now. You can't come here. Dude, no, there's not. Stop. Hey. Get the it's a freaking wrong. Stop. Hey, it was a wrong. This guy's ordering pizza to the wrong place. It was the wrong address.
Oh, man. Such good shit.
All right, Kate, let's just finish this thing. If you want to see the sleeping arrangements of a straight white male, it's the final thing. This is where I sleep, the quarters of a... Okay, yeah, no, that is not supposed to... Okay, no, I've literally never seen this, but I see what's happening. No one's gonna believe me, because I'm a straight white male. Ooh, everyone's a gay. Can someone get this homo out of my bed?
Oh, man. Fucking Ryan Long putting out fucking really good shit. Funny ass motherfucker over here. So for those of you, let's right, Autoshed. Let's start here. Now, for those of you who haven't been following, Ethan Klein, who thinks he's the next iDubbbz, put out a video called Content Nuke KEEMSTAR. Now, we all know my thoughts on KEEMSTAR. I fucking hate KEEMSTAR. I don't like KEEMSTAR. I think he's a dick. I think he's a fucking asshole. But, I mean, I'm not going to point out when someone else is being an even bigger asshole. Especially when this person is focusing on going after their sponsors. Now, when you set a precedent, like, I don't know, going after a person's sponsors, you become as bad as the person you're trying to out. Period. You are no better than him. Take a look.
Los Angeles.
Oh, we need to give a little preface to this. I'm going to give you a brief, the TLDR of this video, because it is 40 minutes long and I ain't gonna watch it all because I've already watched it all and I don't want to force you guys to watch it all because it's Ethan Klein being a jackass. Basically in this video, he basically calls KEEMSTAR human garbage, which is nothing new and uses all old clips. He also brings into it the shit that iDubbbz already covered. What's up, Kevin? He also brings into it the shit that the Etika stuff. He also brings into it the swatting guy. Now, the swatting guy, for those of you who don't know, there was a guy who ended up swatting someone from California into the Midwest, like Kansas or somewhere, swatted someone, and, well, something very bad happened to that person. Make the assumption, I'll let you. They point out, Ethan Klein points out, that this is somehow KEEMSTAR's fault And KEEMSTAR interviewing the guy after getting the guy to admit he did it on his show is somehow tied KEEMSTAR to it? Now,
Angeles is under arrest for a suspected prank that originated in the gaming community but turned deadly in real life in Kansas.
yes. A jackass swatted someone, and someone had something bad happen to him.
911.
I'm just pointing the gun at them, making sure they stay in the closet. My mom and my little brother.
This is a jackass who made this call in order to get the SWAT brought out. That would be him. So a very good-looking individual who is a fucking idiot. KEEMSTAR did actually get him to admit it, then turned it all over to the police. He turned everything over to the police.
1,300 miles away in Los Angeles.
His
Let's get right into the news. We reached out to him and we asked him if we could get an interview with him, and we did. And this is what the person that made this fake police call said. Roll it.
This one really went under the radar, but I find it really disturbing that KEEMSTAR, the day after this murder happened, was able to get this kid on his show, fully monetized. KEEMSTAR.
You notice Ethan will focus on money.
Cashed in big time on this whole ordeal. And I also, if I recall correctly, the interview brought to you by the SWAT murder was also sponsored by G Fuel.
He will constantly point out G Fuel is a sponsor that Keem is heavily involved with and promotes all the time.
Use code KEEM for 10% off of your life expectancy.
You swatted that address, correct?
Sure.
Okay,
Right.
so you swatted the address, you put in the fake hostage situation, correct?
Yep.
And then this guy gets killed.
That's what happened, I guess.
And do you take any responsibility for what happened?
Having an interview with someone after someone does something extremely horrid is not a bad thing. He actually got him to admit it, therefore made the case extremely easy for the police. How is this hard for KEEMSTAR? KEEMSTAR started on YouTube doing video games, shit like that. He is a shitty person, 100%. I don't like KEEMSTAR, but this is one of those situations where he got this guy to admit it. This guy is now sitting in prison.
I don't believe that I'm the only guilty party involved in this whole incident. You could point the finger at the cop who killed someone. You could point the finger at the guy who made the call. You could point the finger at the person who provided the address saying, oh, look, this is where I live. Go ahead and swat me.
So, in this fucking idiot's mind, he did nothing wrong. There's multiple parties in the wrong.
It's really, in my opinion, debatable.
Isn't it wonderful that KEEMSTAR is giving this murder the opportunity to place blame on others, totally uncontested?
No. You clipped it where KEEMSTAR does
Multiple
address it.
people that caused this to happen, right?
While still at large from the police. And
See how he did that? See how he did that? That is just shady bullshit. Listen to the clip he plays.
I don't
This is him
believe that I'm the only
asking
guilty
the
party
question.
involved in this whole incident. You could point the finger at the cop who killed someone. You could point the finger at the guy who made the call. You could point the finger at the person who provided the address saying, oh, look, this is where I live. Go ahead and swat me. So it's really, in my opinion, debatable.
A good interviewer doesn't always push back. He'll push back after he allows the person to take the rope and hang themselves. You pulled a clip, a contextless clip out of the situation. Listen to it again, guys. I want you to hear this because this is the kind of shit Ethan Klein does.
isn't it wonderful that KEEMSTAR is giving this murder the opportunity to place blame on others, totally uncontested?
There's multiple people that caused this to happen, right?
While
That is a question. I remember the context of this. I watched it back. That's a question. That's what he's
still at large from the police. And can we appreciate the irony of KEEMSTAR, of all people, to sit here and pretend to be outraged when he enables this kind of behavior all the time?
enables this kind of behavior because Keemstar has mentioned swatting in the past. Not him doing it, but bringing up people's doing it, people being a shitty human being that Keemstar is. That makes him accountable for what other people do. Now, this guy actually called the cops, actually created the situation and did it. Now, if Keemstar makes a joke or even says something ignorant and stupid and someone does something, is Keemstar accountable for it? That's like saying that you are accountable for everything your audience does if you make a joke, if you point out a negative situation. But you can't be only one accountable, right? You would be kind of hypocritical if you don't hold yourself accountable, if you have the expectation that others hold themselves accountable for what their fans do, right? Right, let's take a quick look at that. It worked with G Fuel. This is posted on the H3H3 Productions Reddit. It worked with G Fuel, so it'll probably work with Spotify. Everyone spam them. New info. Keemstar has a contract with Spotify for his show, Mom's Basement Podcast. If G Fuel will drop Keemstar, so should Spotify. Let's get this trending and in the mentions of Spotify. Now, one might say, Ethan, you're accountable because this is on your subreddit. This is your fans. So you're accountable for the actions of your fans trying to basically pull his sponsors. He also dives into
Keemstar's got a bottle of G Fuel somewhere in his house that's actually a Horcrux. How is G Fuel still sponsor this guy, by the way? G Fuel brought to you by false pedophilia accusations. Chug it, G Fuel.
Get it now at gfuel.com.
Go fuck you.
This says, reports coming in that Keemstar has been dropped by G Fuel after all his products 404 and apparently code KEEM no longer works. H3H3 joins the bandwagon against Pro Jared involving pedophilia allegations. Oh, I missed this. He also jumped into the Pro Jared allegations when that was all going down. Oof. H3H3 never apologized even to Keem, even though Keem repeatedly apologized to Tony. CHC hooked it up with $2. Thanks for doing the Lord's work, sir. Thank you, sir. H3H3 didn't apologize to Pro Jared after he made and jumped on the bandwagon of false accusations that came out to him. And Keeman made a statement that a gentleman streamer, an older streamer, looked like a pedophile. Keem ended up apologizing for it.
Jared finally responds. Now, how long's it been since the Pro Jared controversy happened? It's been a long time.
May.
I find it funny. He goes, not one person reached out to me. What the fuck? I don't know you. I'm not going to reach out to you. I didn't reach out to anyone else. I'm not a journalist.
So, in H3H3's video, he brings up the point that Keem should reach out to people before he makes a statement, before he puts out an allegation. Here's Ethan being the pot.
Long time. May. I find it funny. He goes, not one person reached out to me. What the fuck? I don't know you. I'm not going to reach out to you. I didn't reach out to anyone else. I'm not a journalist. This is not the New York Times. I'm some fucking dude who's about to watch my employee eat a jar of mayonnaise.
That's right. He doesn't have to reach out to people, but Keemstar should.
I love that I can just say nigger.
Yeah, I edited that really quickly. But
Faggot, though.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't really say that. Nigger faggot.
So Ethan could get away with saying these things.
So wonderful. So
now you're going to get shit for it.
Today's episode is sponsored by Old Spice Pomade. Your hair says a lot about you, And with Old Spice hair pomade, you can make it say the right thing.
Get it now at
oldspice.com.
I
love that I can just say no.
That's right. Team being smart in this situation. To all my fans, and I mean this, do not go after any of H3H3 sponsors. This is to show hypocrisy only. This is hypocrisy. If you have the standard that your fans you should be accountable for, then for Keem, that's his standard. Keem should be accountable for what his fans do. Keem should not say things because people might go do something. Well, then you're accountable for your fans. And when your fans do things like this, with 158 upvotes, trying to pull sponsors off of people, we're accountable for that. KEEMSTAR wears G Fuel hat in every video and has G Fuel on his desk in every video. It's as much as part of him as his beard. It's part of his identity. I didn't go after any of his other sponsors, but this one is part of who he is. If G Fuel dropped KEEMSTAR, it's KEEMSTAR's fault. Now it'll come out shortly, what actually happened. This is the last name Klein. This is someone who thinks because they're a millionaire, they could do whatever they fucking want. He's getting roasted by people. Am I really going to defile this grave for money? Of course I am. And my video isn't monetized. And then someone, Memeology, shows Teddy Fresh, H3H3 merch. That's his own brand, bruv. No. That's him making money on it. It doesn't matter if it's monetized. It's bringing views. Fucking lying sack of shit. So, come to find out, G Fuel dropped KEEMSTAR. That's what many think happened. The video was just a copy of everything we've already heard and seen about KEEMSTAR, which is pretty much it, except for the claims that he was part of Etika's suicide, in essence, that he should be accountable for Etika's suicide. That's where Ethan lines up on this. He believes that he pushed him towards suicide. Yeah. He says over and over again, oh, no, that's not what I was saying. I didn't say that in my video. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I didn't do that in my video, but then I'm going to do it here on a tweet. Calling people pedos, fraud, rapists, con artists assassinates their character. Harass them up to the point of suicide. Just don't mention their sponsor, G Fuel, that is on the desk in every video. Harass them up to suicide.
Thanks for the stream. I enjoy the live updates of the new era of super gay blood sports while fixing up my shit box.
Well, this isn't really blood sports. This is cancel culture. This is someone who claims to be above it, someone who claims that you shouldn't do it, has a double standard for themselves, thinks that people should be held accountable for when they harass people to the point of suicide. Just don't mention their sponsor. Okay, hold on. I don't understand this. You say it wasn't about that. You say you didn't do this, but then you put out this tweet 24 hours later. Interesting. Just go through this real quick. Oh, here it is.
Star's got a bottle of G Fuel somewhere in his house that's actually a Horcrux. How is G Fuel still sponsor this guy, by the way? G Fuel brought to you by false pedophilia accusations. Chug it, G Fuel.
Get it now at gfuel.com.
Go fuck you. And I also, if I recall correctly, the interview brought to you by the SWAT murder was also sponsored by G Fuel. Use code KEEM for 10% off of your life expectancy.
So he constantly brought up G Fuel, and then get this, they start looking at whether or not G Fuel is still there, and then you can go to the website and it 404s. which means it was brought down. Either brought down or not a sponsor anymore. Out of stock. The Carnival Shaker Cup is gone. 404, it's gone. So you don't want to set precedents. You don't want to set precedents and go after people's sponsors. Code KEEM no longer works also. So people believe G Fuel has dropped KEEM. G Fuel likely never watched your video. Employees were doxxed and flooded with demands to drop him. KEEM has done fucked up shit, but nothing you presented was new. What was new was implying people should attack his sponsor, which is bad precedent since anyone can do that now. Oof. This guy, Most Critical, who I'm Moist. Moist Critical. What a sad name. Shitting on KEEM is fine, but what you did was create a weapon anyone with the following can use against someone they don't like, even innocent people. Companies don't watch drama videos. They only care if there's a ton of people telling them it's bad. They'll drop them. Well, apparently, employees were doxxed, flooded with demands to drop KEEM, and, well, KEEM put out a video today. He put out a video today, and this is what I was talking about with the etiquette thing. I'm going to let KEEM speak for himself for just a short amount of time, and then we'll address it and we'll look at it, and I'll show you the tie-in points, what I was talking about.
But I want to focus on this because it's just, you'd have to be the biggest scumbag in the world to try to pin another man's suicide on another person because of an internet beef that me and you are having, which we've been having for quite some time, and I'll explain all of that too. But to get into it, the basis of this whole KEEMSTAR killed Etika is the interview that I did with Etika and some tasteless tweets that I put out. But more than anything, the interview is what gets the most attention in this situation because a segment of what I said to Etika and what transpired.
That's right. This happened during the Etika situation, and what KEEM said after trying to help, and then basically went very direct.
We'll get into that, but before we do, first, I want to share a statement from Etika's own mother who texted me this. Hello, KEEMSTAR. This is Etika's mother responding to you to address the recent threats and accusations that you received in relation to his death. I wish to inform Etika fans, friends, and...
Okay. I don't know if this is real, but if it is, and I know they did have a relationship, they did like each other, they did talk shit to each other, and whatever, but a lot of people point out this could be anyone, but...
And viewers, that KEEMSTAR is not responsible for Etika's passing and should not be held accountable for my son's actions. Etika loved KEEMSTAR's show and wanted to make his appearance both memorable and exciting. My son's goal was to make the segment as dramatic and entertaining as possible, not to use it as a vehicle of hatred towards the show's host and creator. Spread love and goodwill instead of passing judgment. What's truly needed is a much better platform supporting mental health awareness throughout the world. Please build up your online community with kindness instead of recklessly breaking each other down. In God we trust, you will take these blessings I send out to you. And I must admit, when I got that text message, I just completely fell apart. This
text message was not sent today. It was not sent yesterday, by the way.
That is exactly what I needed when I needed it. Grieving with Etika's passing and then having some of these people online blaming me for his passing. So Etika's mom, thank you so much for sending that to me. She didn't send that to me yesterday or today. She sent that to me a few days after the passing of Etika. Also, I'd like to read some statements that were put out yesterday on Twitter by Etika's past girlfriend. He tweeted in response to H3H3's video, "Really sad to see people blaming KEEMSTAR again. He was in no way responsible for Etika's actions." Let's think about it some more. One of Etika's goals was to be on Dramaler because he respected that man. They were friendly behind the scenes. Desmond was actually unwell, sick. So in short, I understand that Keem's past makes it really hard for others to change that opinion. So don't go thinking I'm trying to make a divide between those who like and unlike him. This is just my take on the situation. This is the most difficult conversation to have. That's absolutely right. This is a difficult conversation to have. This is ridiculous, and we shouldn't be engaging in this whole thing. I shouldn't be forced to respond to this. Etika's death shouldn't be used as a pawn to beat me in this feud that we have, H.
Now, he holds Keem, brings up as if he were holding Keem accountable. There's this.
One thing.
They have brain damage from huffing all the internet gas. Yes, they do, CHC. Fuck H3H3, fuck Keem, yes. They could make a text line that, plus any mom who cared about her son would be pissed. But he's not responsible. That was the thing. If someone... Okay. There is... How is a person responsible for the actions of another? You cannot give offense, you can only take offense. If someone's mean to you and you choose to end it, that's not the other person's responsibility. They did not... Was it a tipping point on top of stuff? Maybe. But they can't be held accountable for being mean to you. The guy was... and did have a lot of mental issues and didn't get any mental health help. To choose to do that, choose to take that route and go out the self-deletion way, that's not, you can't hold someone else accountable for the actions of a person who obviously had mental health issues. Maybe the mom knew her son liked KEEMSTAR, liked Drama Alert, and wanted to point out the fact to Keem directly that not to blame himself for it. Because look at what happens when people blame it. That's like saying that PewDiePie was responsible for New Zealand because the New Zealand guy said subscribe to PewDiePie. It's the same mindset. If you hold others accountable for the actions of another individual, then I could say someone else is to blame for anything that happens in my life. Now, H3H3 not only focused in on the fact that Keem brought this up and had a bad interview, and Keem does take responsibility and has taken responsibility for, hey, I said some shitty things I shouldn't have said. Like, I feel bad. That's fine. But is he responsible? That's like PewDiePie saying, hey, I feel bad about what happened in New Zealand because the guy used a meme that I was tied to.
He's saying that she had to delete everything because they were spamming some really inappropriate stuff to her. But she said that I could use the screenshots. And I said, no problem. H3H3 fans can be the worst. But keep in mind, during this whole Etika situation that was going down where a man actually lost his life, there were moments where I said some stuff that was completely stupid and wrong. And they're all over. Everyone shared them. But I did not kill this man. Etika's girlfriend also said this. Please don't think that I'm trying to absolve Keem of the wild shit he said. And then apparently people accused her, but when she came out with these statements, of being paid off.
See where this is going?
In H3...
Oh, I didn't read it. I wanted to read that for you guys. Damn, people think I'm being paid. I'm just trying to give more info into the relationship between Keem and Etika, since it's not entirely shown online. I'm not some fangirl. I hate the way he talked about mental health, and he's since changed, but I'm not a fan.
When she came out with these statements of being paid off. In H3H3's video, he showed a lot of these tweets painting a picture that I didn't care about Etika at all, that I simply just wanted to use this as a spectacle to get as many views as possible. Like, that was the whole image that he put forth. He even found some tweet where I acknowledged that he was in a certain mental hospital. He even found a tweet and made this point in his video that I doxed the mental hospital that Etika was at. But for H3H3 to find this tweet, he would have had to go to my Twitter. He would have had to hit advanced search, right? Put the user KEEMSTAR in and then put in Etika and see all the tweets that I've ever made about Etika. And if you do that, you actually get full context. On October 25th, I said I was really worried about Etika. If you see this, I want you to know that you're an amazing entertainer and thousands are counting on you.
That was the, yes, that was the girlfriend's Twitter. And she posted actual screenshots of her and Etika together. The message was from the mom. So that was Etika's girlfriend and knew the relationship that Keem had and knew what Etika's thoughts on Keem were. She was just trying to share that mom thing. Could have been the mom. I don't see, Keem didn't share that before. He's pretty much kept that private. So if it wasn't the mom, or if he was just trying to do it to absolve himself, he would have brought that shit out in when all the people were going after him.
You to be here to entertain them. You have purpose. This was after he made a Reddit post that made it seem like he was going to commit suicide. And then he was gone. He was gone for a couple days, then came back, started streaming, and it just seemed like something was off. I tweeted out, I actually like Etika. I don't think he's evil like Fuzi, but he's definitely manic as fuck. Quoting, he actually acts like this, because that's what all of his fans were saying. I said, nah, not like this. At this point, I actually thought something was seriously wrong. But if you are a fan of Etika, if you watch Etika, if you watched his streams, Etika, the entertainer, was very, very close to Etika, the guy acting not right.
So he's pointing out the simple fact that there was something and more going on with this situation. And a lot of the things that Ethan didn't do was point to the positive and how Keem had tried to interact and help Etika.
They were so close to each other that it was so hard for the fans and even myself to figure out through all these different outbursts that were happening over and over and over again. It wasn't one incident, it was multiple incidents. If he was actually losing his mind or if this was a publicity stunt, because he made it really seem like it was a publicity stunt. H3H3 didn't include the tweets of me saying, stay healthy. Or how after the interview, I seen a clip of him on his stream and he seemed like he was doing much better. And I said, whatever you're doing, stick with it. H3H3 saw these tweets, but none of these tweets were included because...
And that's the only thing I wanted to bring attention to was the simple fact that if you're going to hold others accountable for other people's actions and Keem's saying negative things about Etika, that was part of what he brought him to that point of harassing him to self-deletion, then you're going to be held accountable for things that you've done, which could bring someone to that same situation.
And I hit record, he immediately goes into Etika the entertainer. Before Etika committed suicide, he left a video online where he says this.
You know, I wasn't suicidal before. I really wasn't. But one thing I didn't realize was that the walls were closing around me so fast. I really had no intention of killing myself, but I would always push it too far. I guess I am mentally ill.
Etika was so confident and so convincing that, like, it made it impossible to know if there was a problem or not, and I kept flip-flopping along with his fan base back and forth. He's got a problem. No, this is just a character. No, he's just acting it up. That's what I was caught in along with his fans. Also, an Etika...
Yeah, so that is the run-in. Here's what I don't understand about the situation is if you're Ethan and you've put yourself in situations where you've called someone a pedophile before, didn't retract. If you made comments on people who are manic, etc., and haven't retracted, how can you hold someone else accountable? You don't get to be above it. You don't get to say others should do X, Y, or Z when you've done the same exact thing, unless you don't do those things.
Simulation.
It's all predestined, Keemstar.
But the
Everything
scariest-
you've done up until this point.
But the scariest thing about thinking that the world is a simulation and it's predestined and all that is then there's no reason to live. Why not?
Why do you fear death?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's scary because if you really think about it, then why live? Just jump off a cliff. If it's just a simulation, who cares?
Yes, I said that. I said that to Etika. But why did I say it to him? Because I was trying to explain to him that believing that this world is not real, believing that this world is a simulation, could put you in harm's way, could put you in danger.
And this is something that Ethan took out of context without giving it. And I fucking hate having to defend Keemstar, but I will. I will defend people when other people are manipulating and lying. It doesn't matter if I like the person or not. Simply put, you are pulling shit out of context like you did with him asking the question to the shooter guy. Not the shooter guy, pardon me, the swatter. You pulled that out of context and made it look like it was something else. If you're going to be manipulative, if you're going to lie about things, and there's evidence out there that you're doing that, you might want to be careful because people are going to point it out.
If you don't think this is real, then why live? You have to believe that this is real. You can't believe that this is a simulation. I wanted to put that warning out there. I was trying to help. I battle with these things to this day. But for H3H3 to accuse me of killing him, which you definitely did. I know you put out tweets, and I most certainly did not blame Keemstar for Etika's death. I think he created an extremely toxic environment for him and others.
If he doesn't believe that he was responsible, then why would you put out this tweet? See, the issue at hand is all people, pedos, frauds, rapists, con artists, assassinate their character, harass them up to the point of suicide. You do believe they are accountable. You do believe they did it. You cannot say this before that and then tweet this after that.
You definitely did accuse me. You implied it. You more than implied it. In fact, one person responded, I believe you said almost verbatim, it's really interesting that just a few months after Keem talked to Etika about jumping off a cliff, Etika jumped off a bridge to his death. Homie, you more than implied that Keem was responsible for what happened to Etika.
Keemstar's greatest moment comes when he asks Etika in a manic state, why doesn't he just jump off a cliff?
See the manipulation here? Listen to this manipulation by this fucking double-chinned fucking retard.
If you really think about it, then why live? Just jump off a cliff.
He doesn't even point to the actual context of the conversation. He lets his audience believe. Listen again. This is what I was showing you guys earlier. This is fucking manipulation. This is intentionally taking things out of context. What's going on? Fascist hippie. Intentionally taking things out of context to suit your needs.
Keemstar's greatest moment comes when he asks Etika in a manic state, why doesn't he just jump off a cliff?
If you really think about it, then why live? Just jump off a cliff. Just jump off a cliff. If it's just a simulation, who cares?
Of course, hypothetical, but it is quite a coincidence when you consider that only 51 days later, that very same YouTuber jumped off a bridge to his death.
Oh, see my point, guys? Intentionally taking things out of context in order to suit your point. This is scummy.
Ethan, you are a piece of fucking garbage. Garbage. And on top of it, you're a fucking hypocrite. You go on through your video saying, you know, about all this mental health, and Keemstar had a lot of bad takes, which I did. Trust me, I had a lot of bad takes about mental health, and my opinions have changed throughout the years. But then, as you act on your high horse, you completely forget when FouseyTube was having his mental breakdown, you did a whole podcast roasting him over it.
Right. Right, guys. He shouldn't be held accountable talking shit about other creators. KEEMSTAR should.
Is he, I mean, I can't tell if he's just like cracked out
No.
or if he's just on a manic rampage.
I think, it seems very manic.
Yeah.
It seems very manic.
Training bra. You got a training bra on for some luscious breasts you've been growing. I mean, look at this frame. I mean, dude, this is straight out of like a horror movie. Like, are you in my basement right now, Fousey? You might be thinking to yourself, he's like over him. Drake's sleeping in his bed. Fousey's like hovering over him. You might think this is a little strange, Drake. But this is God's plan for me to murder you right now. Clearly acting's not working out for you, dog. That was a pretty corny read.
Fucking hypocrite.
I don't like KEEMSTAR. I don't like Ethan. But Ethan is the one who fucked it up here. He fucked up. He put out a video that is intentionally cut, manipulated, and pulls the context out of it. But the FouseyTube meltdown, he's not taking it out of context.
So anyway, he fell off. I'm pretty sure he's been having a lot of mental issues, and it seems like he's in a full-blown manic state right now. I mean, let's start here. Let's start from the top. Here. He says, with 2 million viewers, Drake is going to grace the stage of my concert. He's only got 2,000 likes. That seems like a far way off 2 million views. Anyway, he keeps saying that Drake's going to be at his show. Drake's going to be at his show. He never talked to Drake. He's never known Drake. He sells out the Greek a free show, and he says Drake's going to be there. And obviously, Drake never shows up. But basically what ensues is a lot of insanity, a lot of confusion, and a very little crowd.
So, I'm showing you guys the context of what Ethan said. Because I remember watching this situation. And if you're going to say that someone else's actions and someone else's criticism, talking shit, pointing to the negative, being an asshole to them, can hold account for actions they take, you're doing the same. You are being hypocritical. You guys just saw the context of what Keem was talking about. He was talking about if Etika believed that life and the world is a simulation and you live that way, you should worry because if you jump off a cliff, you're going to die. If you just believe those things, there's a more likelihood that you are willing to end it thinking that it's just a simulation, that it's the Matrix. Do you think Ethan has a half Asian lawyer? No, I think he has a full city folk lawyer, like Ethan himself.
And him stalking Drake, which is probably the best, the most entertaining and concerning thing to come out of this whole thing. This video pretty much sums it all up for me. Let me throw this up here for you. This video really has it all. It's got stalking. It's got a drama. Let's hear it. Quiet. Dan, can you turn it up?
Yep, got you.
Now your band. And it's a band. Band. Your band. Well, now your band.
Frame drop, sorry. Refresh if you're new. Oh, the audio is fucking terrible on this.
Dude, look at the people.
Supposed to be a professional, like, massive podcast.
By the way, he's taken this clip from someone else's show, reserving the Greek. And I will say to his credit, I mean, I don't want to compare it.
So he's willing to comment on someone who's having a manic breakdown, who's having a massive issue in their life, and he's not in the wrong because that person just happened to not kill themselves. No. He's not in the wrong because it didn't end up happening. But Keem's in the wrong because he critiqued and talked shit and was very negative, as he admits. But Ethan's not in the wrong.
You've always been a goddamn hypocrite. You used to call me out for making Jake Paul videos when you made Jake Paul videos. The other day, you tried to roast me on Twitter like a month ago. You tried to roast me for my hoodie. You said I looked like a 12-year-old. And then the whole
Ooh. Keemstar out here dressed like a 40-year-old looking to befriend some 12-year-olds, though. Ooh. Now that sounds like false accusations of something else.
Internet had to remind you and roast you. This is how you dress.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you have a brand that looks like kids' clothing, and you're going to comment on someone else wearing galaxy print stuff. Come on. It's a lack of self-awareness.
It was just absolutely hilarious. It's always a big swing and a miss, and this entire video is a big swing and a miss. In fact, in the next video, I'm going to address every single other bullshit you've taken out of context. I'm going to address you literally turning the guy who swatted me and swatted my mods on stream into a victim, which one of the best researchers on the whole goddamn YouTube, the platform is Gamer for Mars, who literally DM'd me this.
Thing that gets me about Ethan's video is he painted Smile for YouTube as a victim. Dude was a serial swatter and threatened people's lives to extort money out of them.
In disbelief that you use that. I'm going to address every single thing.
Okay, guys. I think that's a good stopping point. That's pretty much it of the Keemstar stuff. Here's Keemstar's video. I'll include the links. Here is, if you want to go back and look at it, here is a hypocrite talking about how others are bad, but you don't get to comment on that. That'd be him talking about FouseyTube. And here's his video on Keem. All three of those. Now that you've seen a bit of all of them, there's going to be more coming out. They're obviously going to be, going at each other. There is, thank you for the lemons over there on the Lemon Palace. A lot of shit going on. You also have people like Boogie jumping in. Of course, Boogie's got to jump in. Keemstar spent over 15 hours on private calls and DMs trying to help those with suicidal thoughts after Exceder's passing. I don't know what to do anymore. So many of us are sick. I'm so sorry for joking tweets about mental health in the past. I'm seeing firsthand how widespread it is. I still don't understand it. I don't get it. And I don't know how to help other than to just try to help fix normal life problems that my friends have. But even that can't solve it. It's deeper. I feel defeated. He's talking about mental health and people who've had issues. Now here comes Boogie. Here comes Boogie. Dude, you're a good person and a good friend to a lot of people. I know it's hard for you to understand it, but you are just trying to help people suffering. Boogie saying Keem is a good person, obviously, right? But Boogie likes to be on the winning side. Here's the thing about Keemstar. He genuinely does not care what you think about him. He genuinely does not care if and when he hurts people. He genuinely does not care about the impact he has, good or bad. He cares about himself, his family, and his friends. That's all. So Boogie, siding with Ethan on the situation. I generally think he would shoot a man in the face at point blank if it would benefit him or someone, even after you just called him a friend. Seems to me Boogie will constantly play the game of who is going to win. And with that, guys, I say we call it. It's a good time to call it. Tomorrow, I'll get the time lined up. If you're on D Live, check the chat tonight late. I'll put in timing for the show for tomorrow on stream. And if you're not on D Live and you're on the YouTube, in the community, I will put the information about tomorrow's show once I get the time lined up with Augie. I'm pretty sure it's going to be late because he does an afternoon show. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be 9 p.m. PST here on YouTube and on D Live. Let's take it out with the classic. Let's take it out with the classic, guys.
I predict that Andy Warski
thanks again to everyone donated. Hey, D Live, take a look at
mentally
the chat.
and physically.
I'm gonna pop the box for
that
you
within
guys.
the next 7 years, Andy Warski will have AIDS.
I need some dick now.
Angie
This
and
is
Ethan
Pop
and
on D Live. Make sure you hit that
Knoxville,
button
together.
and get your piece.
I'm getting dick tonight. I'm getting dick right now. After the show, I'm getting dick.
Paul will be
I want to put the dick
tomorrow
inside of me.
at 9 p.m.
Preferably
We have AugieRFC,
Ethan Ralph's dick.
who we covered here today. If you're on D Live, make sure you hit that chest. Also, keep your eye on the community tab because I'll have specifics. Replay should be up shortly. We got Dick Ritchie getting 12. Wyatt getting 20.
What is going on here? I'm
Everyone
sucking
for
dicks
hanging out.
all night. Dicks all night. I'm sucking dicks all night. I'm getting dick tonight.
From what I understand, even though Ethan's the bottom, Ethan gets around.
Maybe there's no such thing as a bottom and a top. Maybe we could be both.
Ethan told me that, when he was in jail, he just discovered a different facet of himself.
There were some rough dudes in there.
Hey, I'm sucking dicks all night. Dicks all night. What up? Hey, I'm sucking dicks all night. I'm getting dick tonight. What up? Hey, I'm sucking dicks all night. Dicks all night. What up? Hey.